Hey everyone, hope your Wednesday is going well. Today we're going to do part 3 of the 1992 TG Masters of Racing set. There you see some of the names associated in this set on both sides. So I'd like to show you guys those real quick. I guess they're the same names, I just realized that. Here's just an artist rendering of some different eras of cars. You have the coupes there, a Superbird or a, what was the other one that they ran? The Plymouth Superbird and the Dodge Daytona, the Wing Daytona. And then kind of a generation, I guess it's a generation 4, the downsized Cup cars. Looks kind of like an Oldsmobile. But TG Masters of Racing. We'll go ahead, and we've done 2 of these little cello-wrapped packs. We'll do a third one here. And these cards are completely out of order in terms of the way that they are packaged. There is no rhyme or reason, so to speak. So we've had cards in all, this is like saying 152 to 262, and it shows 202 on the back. So there's not really been any real consistency to how these were packaged. And since these are the first set of this that I've had, I don't know if all of them were packaged the same in terms of the way that the order of the cards were. But there's roughly, I think, 50, 60 cards in each one of these little cellos. So we'll go through these one cello at a time. Like I said, this is part 3, and I'm having a heck of a time getting this wrap off because I'm trying not to damage the cards. Of course, these have been in their little protective cello wrappers for almost 30 years, 29 years to be exact, or relatively close anyway. We're going to start off with what appears to be a checklist. White Gold Collector's Cards, numbers 153 to 262, TG Racing, 1992. This is the south end of the track at Daytona. I'm sorry, this is the north end, because the beach would be over here, and you'd be heading up this rack. And this is A1A, and this is the hairpin turn, where they'd go back the other way. It's going to tell you a little bit about it. But it says Red Byron, so I'm guessing that is red there in the number 22 red prepared car. Up next, we have Bob Flock, part of the famous Flock family. It's easy for me to say, but you had Tim and Fonte, his brothers, as well as Ethel Mobley Flock, the sister, and all 4 of them did run in a couple races together, at least one, as it made history at the only time that 4 siblings ran in one race together. White walls, look at the white walls as they refer to the sides of the tires. That was pretty popular back in the 50s. Fonte Flock. This is one of the other Flock brothers. Of course, Bob was the first one. And Tim was the most well-known out of the 3 Flocks. 1947 champion. So this is going to be the modified division, which actually started a year before what is now known as the Cup Series. Who was that? Raymond Parks. So Red Byron, Marshall Teague. Really doesn't tell me who ran that car on the front, but it's pretty nice. And there is Tim Flock. He did ran, I think he won 2 titles, maybe 3. Really don't know all the champions. I mean, I've heard of all the champions at the beginning, but I can't picture all their title reigns. I know he may have been in 51, 52, and 55. Okay, so that's pretty good. And there's is Tim's car. This is when he was driving for Carl Kiekhaefer, a famous car owner. These were Ford 300s. And they actually changed the name because it was Mercury Outboards. I'm sorry, Chrysler 300s, not Ford 300s. I was seeing the Mercury and immediately thought Ford. But they were Chrysler 300s. That's why the cars had the number 300. You have the Mercury Outboards there. People were thinking they were Fords. But, so Kiekhaefer just put Kiekhaefer Outboards on the cars later on. As a result of that, there's the Flock family. James Hilton, 1966 Cup Series Rookie of the Year. 2 races that he won, 1970 at Richmond, 1972 at Talladega, and there's one of James' cars. Of course, James just recently passed away a couple of years ago in an automobile accident leaving Talladega. There's James once again. Perk Brown. Heard a little bit about Perk Brown. Not a whole lot. I believe Danny may have sent me this card in one of our exchanges. believe he was a legendary driver down in that area of the country. This might be one of Perk's cars, not for real sure. This is Joe Frisson. Never won a Cup Series race, but was always entertaining. There's one of Joe's cars. Go online and look for a story about a Pontiac that he trashed in the garage in the early 70s. There's another one of Joe's cars. This may be the story right here, the jack handle. Let's look at that. See if it talks about the Pontiac. Yeah, this is his story, so if you want to read that story, it's pretty interesting. There's Louise Smith. I believe she is the only female driver to register a top 5 in the Cup Series division. No, she was not. That was Sarah Christian. I apologize. So Louise Smith was an early racer. Picture of a car that she rolled at the track, and they wanted to get a picture of it. This is the first time that 3 female drivers competed in a NASCAR Cup Series race. I believe it was 1977 at Daytona. Obviously, you have Janet Guthrie, and the other 2 are Lella Lombardi, and I always forget the name of the third lady. Janet Guthrie, Lella Lombardi, and Christine Beckers. Frank Warren, longtime independent campaigner on the Cup Series. There's his famous number 79 car that he ran for many, many years. George Fulmer. George was an accomplished road racer. During this time, he's racing for Bud Moore. You can see the blue and white Bud Moore car right behind him, and the RC logos. Was one of Bud's sponsors in the mid-70s. But this is George's car that he ran. I don't know who the owner was. I don't think that particular one was Bud Moore. But there he is at Indianapolis. So George was a very, very versatile driver. Here's some random champions. Who do we have here? Bob Burcham. Don't know much about Bob. But we can look at his career achievements and his career stats. Really like these cars because they do put the stats on there. Tommy Moon. I believe Tommy was a North Carolina guy. Could be wrong. Nope, he's a Florida guy. Wendell Scott. First black driver to win a Cup Series race in Jacksonville, Florida in the December of '63, but it counted towards the '64 schedule. And there's one of his cars that he ran during his career, number 34. And there's another one. Looks like he's maybe racing with David Pearson. I really can't tell. Let's see if it tells it who he's racing with. Yep, David Pearson in Cotton Owens' car. Dick Linder. Larry Scherter. Who do we have here? Johnny Halford. So some random names there. High Pockets. Not sure who's this going to be. Looks like Johnny Halford. Rough Day. Just the lack of amenities and safety at the tracks in the early days just amazes me. Butch Lindley. Butch, I got to watch Butch Lindley very, very little near the end of his career. He had a head injury at Pensacola, Florida. I think it was Pensacola. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Pensacola. Caraway Speedway, I believe it was, in North Carolina in 1985. No, it was the Bradenton track. So it was the it wasn't during the Snowball Derby, but I believe it was at the same track. 1985. He could have had a decent NASCAR career, but he stuck to the short tracks. It was really, really a short track whiz. Who do we have here? Shortcut. Not sure who that is. Not sure where that's at. That's just a checklist, so it's not going to tell us much anything. Donnie Allison, one of the members of the Alabama gang. Of course, this is Bobby's brother. Davy's uncle. There he is in Banjo Matthews' car. Looks like we have a few others. There he is in the Dygaard car. Early time for Dygaard. But about 10, 12 years later, Dygaard would pretty much be out of business. Bob Welborn. Herschel Mcgriff. That's a nice looking card of Herschel. Not going to break up the set to have it signed, but may have to buy another set to send it out. And maybe get that one as well. There's a nice card of Herschel Mcgriff. Those would look really, really nice signed. Papi Huff. Let's look at his birth date. 1902. Wow, he's from Indiana. Never heard of that town, though. I'll have to look that one up. But 1902, that is, that's just absolutely amazing to think about how long ago that was that he would have been born. Not sure if that is his car or not, but let's find out. Papi Huff, yes. Started racing in 1917. That is just astounding. Gentleman Ned Jarrett, two-time Cup Series champion. There he is in Bondi Long's Ford. 14-lap winner, of course, 14 laps. Largest margin of victory in terms of distance, but Ned did win 2 short track races by 20 or 22 laps, I believe. But in the 1965 Southern 500, of course, was won by 14 laps by Ned Jarrett. And our final card in this installment says No Cigar. Another Ned Jarrett card, so very nice. A lot of interesting cards in there. Learned a little bit myself, and then reminded myself of some stuff like the crash that Butch Lindley was in, that he was in a coma for many, many years. I believe he finally passed away, I want to say in maybe 97 or thereabouts. Obviously, learning about Papi Huff being from Indiana, that was kind of new to me. I've probably read that somewhere before, but have just filed that information away. So now I got to go look for that town on Google Maps and see how far it is away from me. And then just seeing all the other pictures and so forth. So I really like these kind of sets that give you a little historical look. And I know there's some baseball sets and some probably football and basketball sets, but this is my, I don't want to call it my bread and butter. I'm not making any money doing this, but it is what I enjoy the most and it's what I have the most knowledge of. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Come back and see us tomorrow. We'll have something new for you, whether it's a pack opening or box opening or whatever it is we decide to do tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. All the support is always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.